Assalamu alaikum, and a very beautiful and gorgeous day to everyone. Welcome to Cherita MyAgeing, a podcast by Malaysian Research Institute on Aging. The objective of this podcast is very simple. We have three main objectives. Number one, of course, to empower the senior citizens in Malaysia. And number two, of course, creating awareness, and at last but not least, the well-being of senior citizens. I'm your host, Abdullah Muhammad, and let me introduce our guest. And I'm a little bit nervous to introduce our guest because she's an authority in senior citizenship or senior citizens. Let me tell you why.
Cherita MyAgeing.
When we were doing the research about her, there was a picture of a graduation picture, and I'll tell you why that matters in a bit, but let me just explain you. She is the co-founder of University of the Third Age, at the same time the founder of SeniorsAloud. And not only that, she started her masters at the age of not 50, not 60, not 65, 63, at the age of 72. At the age of 70 and finished at the age of 72. And now the picture comes relevant. When I was looking at the picture, I thought it was her graduation picture. So when I thought maybe it's her grandchild who got graduated and then put the all the gowns and the graduation cap and everything on her. But then when I was reading, oh my god, I was extremely inspired, and I'm extremely honored. As a host, I'm extremely honored to have Madam Lily Fu with us.
Thank you.
Please welcome.
Thank you for that. I think it's too much about me. But I have to find it necessary to correct a couple of points that you made. I did my master's in gerontology at 70, not 72.
Wow.
But at 72, I think you read about it. At 72, I produced a documentary called Menanti Senja. So just want to, and the other thing I want to correct is that I'm of U3A, not a co-founder. I'm just a vice president.
Great. So you're overall directing everything. That's great, actually. Wow. Vice president of. That's actually very. Yeah. Can you please share with us your journey from, because you're from the education background, right?
Yeah.
You were a teacher for many years, like 4 decades.
I got that right.
Alhamdulillah, I got that right. But then from 4 decades, 40 years, and then going to a different journey, creating SeniorsAloud, the committee, what actually inspired you overall?
Okay. I was a high school teacher for 31 years in one school. I'm one of those, long-term serving, very loyal kind of a person. And then I retired in December 2004. That's quite a long time ago. Yeah, almost 20 years ago. Then, of course, for the first 2 years, enjoy life, no 9 to 5, And then there comes a time when you wake up in the morning, hey, there's nothing for me to do. My friends are still working, and they cannot go out with me. And I like to be active. I like to go out. I like to meet people, enjoy myself. So what's there? Nothing. That was 2004, 2005. But what happened was that I looked around and I thought, really, there was no organization doing things for senior citizens. So I thought, I'm one of those, do-it-yourself kind of thing. So I said, why not I just start something? So I started SeniorsAloud. Free, have to look for free because retirees are very careful about money management. So, okay, I discovered blogging. Blogging is free. So I put SeniorsAloud on social media. That's how I got started.
It was after
May 2008 I started. May 2008 so that means this year almost 18 years, 17 plus. 17 plus years I've been doing this.
So 4 decades in education background, and then nearly 2 decades like serving a community, right?
Yeah.
That's very unique. Let's talk about the vice presidency of University of the Third Age.
Right.
Can you explain about that one?
I started SeniorsAloud blog in the year 2008. And then I was just searching for something, but being a teacher, having an education background, I was looking for something that I could learn because I believe very much in lifelong learning. So I was looking for where could I learn, about what being senior citizens like, what retirement is like, how to manage retirement funds financially. Then I search, and voila! Even in those days, Google was not too bad, So I found U3A.
Oh, okay.
At that time, U3A was just starting. It was called U3A Selangor, I think, and Kuala Lumpur, not Malaysia. Now it's Malaysia. It's all over Malaysia. So I found it, and I read about it in the Star. And it said that there was an open day on a certain day. So I said, why not? I check it out myself. So I went. I was totally impressed by what they had to offer. Courses specially designed for senior citizens.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how I got in.
This
I registered.
Was around which year?
2010 or 2011.
Okay, so
about that.
When you retired, it was like 2004, 2005. You're enjoying, and then starting at 2008, you're SeniorsAloud the community, and 2010 you joined U3A.
2010, 2011. About that.
So it was about, basically, from my understanding, what you said, it's about making sure that it's not too late for senior citizens to learn, right? So can you explain a little bit about the journey of it's not too late for senior citizens to start something?
I always believe that it's never too right, to enjoy life. Never, right? So how it kind of started. And I like to spread this idea of nothing is ever too late, never too old, to as many seniors as possible. So I started with U3A, joining. That's the social contact there. Meeting other seniors and finding that we share the same kind of objective, the same kind of desire to want to make our retirement years really golden, right? So that's how, that's a passion in me.
So you are the founder of SeniorsAloud, and right now the vice president, from joining, then being the vice president of U3A.
I've been in U3A committee for almost 10 years or so.
Okay, for 10 years, right?
Almost.
So joining and then becoming slowly till with the vice presidency, right?
Yeah.
So can you please tell us some inspiring story, like maybe one inspiring story from SeniorsAloud, which you saw?
All right. In fact, just yesterday, someone posted on Facebook saying that how happy she was that she found SeniorsAloud because she has lost 10 kg.
Wow.
Because we do have a lot of activities. We've got many groups. We organize all free. We organize them into, I think at the moment we have 9 or 10 groups. One of them is called Outdoors.
Outdoors.
Yeah. Under Outdoors, we have subgroups like mall walking, park walking, pickleball, badminton, all this. And they join. They exercise. And this particular member, she said yesterday, she lost 10 kg. And she said, I'm so happy to have found so many friends in the community, in SeniorsAloud. And it makes her life much more interesting because of friends. And there are a lot, some of them have found love as well.
Great. At the age of 50,
love,
right?
50 plus,
50 plus,
60.
wow. I mean, when looked at your story, like when we researched about you, graduating at 70 is actually 72, 70 is a very big deal, actually. That's inspiring. What can be more inspiring than that? But then when we hear from you, there's more inspiring stories. That's actually very interesting what we're seeing.
By the way, there are people who graduate, with master's, PhD at 90. So, but news, because it shows that, you can go beyond. It's always achievement more and better than, that's the way to go, isn't it, in life? That, every generation has to be better than the previous one. Every success, every achievement has got to be better than the previous one. So that's progress. That's evolution.
So one of the progress which you talked about, right? We're seeing technology, right? It's shifting and changing fast, right? So we can see a lot of division between, senior citizen being left out. Younger generation, they know more about the technology. What's your take on it, a little bit, and how we can improve?
For us at SeniorsAloud, we have got 2 goals, 2 missions. One is to promote, just like U3A, right? We promote active aging. For U3A, the focus is on lifelong learning because it's a university. For SeniorsAloud, we go beyond that. because there are other aspects besides lifelong learning.
It's a community.
Yeah, it's a community thing. We need the engagement. Yeah, so that's one aspect. But we are also very, very aware. We are more blessed because we are the educated. We are okay financially. When U3A first started, the main objective for U3A was to get more or less those in the lower income group to come in and learn and know how to enrich their lives through learning lifelong courses, practical courses that can help them maybe earn a living, skills like that.
That was the
that was
objective.
the original, but it didn't kind of evolve because seniors came in, those who had more time. Because when you're at that level, when you need to, find your means of survival, the livelihood, you don't have the time. It's like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right?
Yeah.
You don't have the time to go and look for courses and all that, unless it's related to
your
money
field
making.
or money making.
Yeah.
Your objective money making,
Yeah.
right? So it's very, very interesting. You also and train the technology in SeniorsAloud and create awareness, right?
Yeah.
That's very interesting. So since people are adapting, like senior citizens are adapting technology, so of course there are really some misconceptions, right? Misconceptions, stereotypes. So what are some of common, like from your, because you have so much knowledge, like from 2 decades, you have like around 2 decades you have been dealing with senior citizens, right? So what are some of the common stereotypes or misconceptions overall?
I'm still focusing a lot on changing public perception of senior citizens. A lot of people, when they hear the words warga emas, now it's called warga berusia. It's a different term already, the golden one has gone out already. Because, retirement years are not that golden, really, in modern times. Because there's a lot of issues, a lot of problems that need to be solved. And our country is aging fast. And I don't think they're really prepared for it. So there are lots of issues to take care of. When you reach a certain, your retirement years, you have to think of your money management, your financial. You also have to think of your health. These are the top two. But to me personally, I think I would like to also focus on other areas equally important. You just can't have one or two. It's a whole package, right? So for me, I have 7 pillars that to make aging well possible, a reality. And I would like to add, very important, family relationship, social commitments, lifelong learning for your brain cells to kind of reduce the risk of Alzheimer's. Yeah. And I also think purpose in life is very, very important. Yeah. I also like to bring in spirituality because it is the path that guides you, being, focused on outside yourself. Things are internally also, because you cannot help others if you yourself are in that position that need help as well.
Yeah, because from like my field is organizational behavior, right? So we study about the science of motivation.
Right.
So purpose is one of the highest motivator, like if somebody has a big purpose, and at the same time there's one more motivator, which is the progress. So if they're saying like progress happening every single day and they're reaching their purpose, those two are one of the highest intrinsic motivators, intrinsically, because we divide the motivation into 2 different spectrum. One is like extrinsic, which is based on reward or punishment. The other one is your enjoyment, the thing which you really love to do. For example, playing football or enjoying, nobody's punishing you or nobody's rewarding you. It's from yourself. So purpose, which you talked about, is very, very important. And competence, which you said, competence is one of the intrinsic motivators, which means that, which you talked about, lifelong learning, right? So every time a person is seeing that he's being competent day by day, and seeing progress, that's actually a very good intrinsic motivator, and they enjoy it a lot, so it's very, very interesting actually. But aside from it, we're seeing a lot of challenges, because you mentioned that we are not ready for it, right? Being a aging country. So what are the common challenges right now we're facing?
I think I always like to start with the senior citizen himself or herself.
Okay.
Because you cannot change anything. You cannot see improvement unless you improve yourself.
Okay.
So it starts from your attitude. Attitude towards everything. Attitude towards learning, attitudes towards others, your relationship, for example, your attitude. So for me, I always encourage a positive attitude. And when you are retired, let's say you have 20 years to go, upon reaching 60 average, you can live up to 80 or more. So how are you going to fill your time? Because that's a stretch. Longevity, So go for self-development. That's the base.
The attitude.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Like
Positive
lifelong learning,
attitude. And then from there, you branch out.
Okay.
How can you, now that you've focused on yourself, you've developed, you have found your inner strengths and all that, how can you help others? Because to me, that's very important. Community is very important. You reach out. You cannot be selfish and just internalize. But when I say help the community, it doesn't have to be big projects. Simple thing like helping in the soup kitchen to prepare food for the poor, the hungry. Give free tuition to underprivileged children. So there's always something you can do that you can contribute towards the community.
Yeah.
Self and I believe in the whole nation, everything. Everybody has a part to play in moving forward for the country, for yourself, individual, community, government, whatever. Everybody, stakeholders, all come in.
There is a famous theory of motivation called SDT theory, self-determination theory, which actually talks about the intrinsic and extrinsic, right? So, based on the theory, you actually talked all the important factors. They have like 3 things which we need to get self-motivated or intrinsically motivated, right? Number 1 is competence, the way, like your perception of how competent are you getting day by day, right? And then also, which we talked about, right? Autonomy. We need to have a lot of autonomy, and senior citizens have autonomy because they are retired. But the last but not least, which you talked about, was community, right? So in the theory, it's relatedness, how you're relating to others. You're serving a bigger purpose, right? So every time you're talking, I'm trying to relate with the theories and the organizational behavior things, So it's very, very interesting. We can actually change the perception, but again, the attitude matters, which you said, right? The attitude, and that's one of the challenges, right? But still, we're hopeful, and I want to know, like, what's your hope for the next generation or the future of, the senior citizens?
I'm a positive person. I think even though I say that, the country is not quite prepared, but it's heading towards that. It's at least waking up to the needs of senior citizens, and the government is trying its best. Like setting up almost 200 Pawai centers. There's a pusat activity warga emas, right? In every constituency if possible. That's a very good start. But of course, it can go further. Like what kind of activities should be introduced? And how do you train those who are running these centers? So there's coordination, but it's like standardized. And I always think that the future is bright if the senior citizens themselves,
the
attitude portray positive attitude. Don't always think, "Ayo, I'm ready to die. I'm too old to do this. I'm too old, cannot learn already. Cannot dress nice." Get rid of that kind of thinking. Because if you think like that, society will think like that. I meet a lot of people who still think, why give the job to the letter application says the age 52. No lah, 52. Come on, 52 is not even warga emas lah. 60 is warga emas age. 52 is not. But once you see numbers like that, chuck away the application letter. That is not fair because they're still thinking that at 52, no use already.
That's
not fair. Okay, people look at me and I'm 77. I can work, I think. I can still run, office and do a lot of work that people require me to do. I can maybe challenge you to brisk walking,
Now that
things like that, because you can do it.
Now that I realize you're 77.
But the senior citizens themselves must start work on themselves. Yeah? You can improve your health. Nothing is ever too late or too old. Yes?
77.
Yes.
And you're
because late, but you are lucky because now there's more awareness. So now people, even from the age of 30 something, they're starting to build their nest egg financially. They're saving. And I the gym, And I go to the gym and I see, oh, a lot of young people. It's good because it's laying the foundation of good health.
Wow.
Hopefully, along the way, they don't lose it lah. Because sometimes for the women especially, along the way, start okay, but somewhere 30-some, your children, must look after family, and then the focus is gone. But it's never too late again. They can always come back to it. That's why I say the corporates or the companies, they should give older people a chance, especially the women. They sacrifice the years in the middle for the family. So now they are free because children are a bit older. They want to get back to work. But they look at them, 50, cannot lah. That's not fair.
That is one of the stereotype or misconception, right?
Yes.
Wow. We had actually very good conversation.
So next time you become a captain of industry, don't reject letters that says, 50 years old.
We will not. Wow. Like masters at the age of 72, then creating a community for around 2 decades,
You have to walk the talk, right?
Yeah.
If you tell people to do this and do that, and you yourself don't do it, or don't show it, who's going to believe you?
Wow.
You have to. No choice lah.
Wow. And now, you became the vice president of University of Third Age. And now, in this podcast, I got to realize you're 77, but you don't behave like you're so young, like somebody on her 40s or something, or more younger.
Yeah. But getting back to U3A, because that's what I would like to, reach out to people, seniors. If you have time on your hands, right, and you want to improve yourself, check out U3A. We offer 50 courses.
50 courses, 50.
And it's supported by the government. It's not expensive. It's really not expensive. We offer so many categories, under categories. We've got art, music. You can want to learn the guitar, ukulele, piano. We got it. Yeah. And we've got health, Tai Chi, Qigong, all that we have. Taekwondo. Yeah, we got 24 drums. Oh, that's so exciting. When I talk about all this, I get very excited, because it is true that, all these are there, but people either don't know or they don't take it up because too old to learn. Not working. These are not working. Who says so? Sorry, I have to say that. Who says so? You can. Hey, look at Mahathir, 100 years old, right? And he's still able to go jalan-jalan, enjoy. Yeah. The oldest person I have personally met, and she's my role model. She was, when I first met her, she was 110.
110.
100. I've never met anybody so old. So while we were sitting there, she was here for a conference, a talk. So I was sitting there waiting for her to come. I was expecting her walking. She just walked out there, smiling away, and a wonderful talk, so motivating. So these are the people, my role models.
Wow.
Yeah, she was here because she was invited to give a talk on her book. And she, unfortunately, when I met her, she was 110. She passed away 113.
113.
Yeah. Ex-Malaysian, born in Penang, but went over to Singapore later.
Wow.
So models, always go for models.
She wrote a book at the age of 110. Wow. Very interesting.
Yeah. So there are people like that. And they are showing the way. I think we're all aware that longevity is here to stay. Right? People are now living longer, and therefore we need more, more things to keep us going. You cannot write us off at the age of 60 and then downhill. Society should not think like that. We ourselves should not think like that. Don't say never, never too old. I have to emphasize that. Start with yourself.
And this is one of the reasons why we created this podcast. Because our objectives, we have few objectives, empowering the senior citizens, because the perception which you said, the attitude and perception, we need to change it and empower them, right? So that's one, empowering. Also at the same time creating awareness, because you said that when a person 52 years old, they see the CV and they say no, he cannot, she cannot do the job. So one of the things which we're doing at MyAgeing is also trying to create awareness, and also the being, create so these are the objectives of why we are doing this podcast, to create awareness, well-being, and also most important, empower, which you are doing a lot.
Like there's a gym here, and I always tell senior citizens, if you want brief summary how to take care of your health, just 3 things, easy. Number one, take care of this lah. Right?
Mind.
Lifelong learning, U3A. Join, and then activate your brain cells. It will reduce the risk of getting Alzheimer's later on. Right? Mentally, health. Then muscles, very important. Your muscles, you must keep exercising them. Otherwise, you become frail. Right? Hey, gym here, lor. You can
Very
join,
cheap.
right? The gym is here. Or at home, you can even do exercises. You can use your own bottles of water, lift up. Yeah, that kind of thing. So that is, and the last one, only 3 lah, just to make it simple. So don't frighten the seniors. The third one is the joints. Your joints must move. It's not, because if you don't move your joint, you become like that, no, cannot bend. Every day move, your shoulder move, every part you can move, you move. If your shoulders can move 180, go for 180. If you can move 360, go for 360, right? Whatever it is, oil them with exercise. Just focus on these 3 first lah. Good enough lah. It will carry you through. Because mobility is super, super important. If you fall down or you don't have muscles in your leg, weak, you are going to depend on other people to do things for you.
That's
So
hard. That's
young people like you, this advice also that can you to spread, start early, start young, lay foundation.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Madam Lily Fu. Thank you for your time. We learned a lot actually from the stereotype, because once they take the CV and then they reject, and all the misconception, the stereotypes. We also learned a lot of challenges, and I thought, like, before this podcast, we thought that maybe the challenges from external, but then when you say it's also internal, the
Yes.
attitude,
You start with yourself first.
like starting with the self, the attitude, and then your journey.
Yeah.
Your journey is extremely inspiring. Thank you so much for your time. We know you came extremely early. Thank you so much for your time.
Pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Thank you so much. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching, and see you the next episode of Cherita MyAgeing. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you.
Cherita MyAgeing.